Hi, my name is Alexis from Bear and Pixie Art Studios. If you're new here, I'm the artist of Bear and Pixie, and my husband Tucker manages all of our YouTube videos and our website, more behind the scenes stuff. As of recording this video, we have done 7 conventions over the past year, our first convention being in September of 2023. And a lot of our content, if you aren't familiar with, we mainly focus around Disney themes or cat prints and bookmarks and stickers and things like that. As we're getting towards the end of 2024, I wanted to share some tips that me and my husband learned along the way during our first year of tabling at artist alleys, and maybe these tips may help you in the future if you're ever thinking of doing this as well. So let's get into it. Tip number 1. Now, first and foremost, I'm gonna put this out here as the first tip. It may seem pretty obvious at times, but sometimes, after a long day, you may forget. So I just want to put this as number 1. Don't leave anything in your car. If you're not familiar with this channel and you haven't seen a particular video, you can watch that video if you're curious about what happened, but just to sum it up, don't leave anything in your car. Number 2, visibility is key when it comes to your table display. Now, obviously when you're first starting out, just get whatever you can on the table, fill it up as best you can with what you have. Don't feel like you have to fill out the entire table if you just don't have that capacity yet. Obviously it's gonna take some time. When I first started out, I had an 8-foot table with maybe 4 feet of product to actually kind of fill out. So just start with what you have, but the main thing is having your display easy to see and easy to kind of format and kind of go through your display very quickly and easily to kind of see what you offer for the customer. So having things up high, so if there's a crowd that's kind of around your table or just going down the aisle, customers can still see your stuff because it's nice up and high and they can see over the crowd. The other thing is don't try and have anything flat on your table because again, like as people are walking by, they just can't see anything that's really flat on your table. So you want to have that item or print, whatever it is, kind of propped up a little bit so people can still see whatever that item is, if it's an art print or a book, up off the surface. Another thing about visibility is your branding. So you really want to make sure that when people go to your table, they buy a print, buy a bookmark, buy a sticker, whatever it is, you want to have your branding easily recognizable and visible on that item. So that way, when they buy the thing, they leave, and then they're looking at what they got later on, they want to be able to easily know where they got that from. So maybe you have like your name attached to the sticker, or on the back of your print, maybe you have like your logo stamped or a sticker with your logo, something like that. So then that way, some way, they can easily see where they got that print from and come back for more if they want, or shop online if you have an online shop. And along that idea of an online shop, number 3, have a newsletter. So some way, somehow you want to have with your online shop, if you have one already started, try and form some sort of newsletter so then you can inform your customers about upcoming shop events, or if you're going to be at certain events like for Artist Alley or paneling at something, whatever that may be in the future, then you can let your customers know, because like, hey, I'm going to be at Washington, and know that your customers that are in the Washington area can stop by. The other really important thing when it comes to newsletters is you own your newsletter. It's like Instagram, even YouTube here, you don't own those platforms. So at any point, YouTube could shut down, or Instagram is kind of going down in the toilet, so maybe you don't get as much engagement there. So having a newsletter in your own shop or website, whatever that is yours to control, yours to do whatever you want with, and to reach out to customers on your own terms. So a newsletter is really, really important to have. It's something that we're still working on growing as well. So really having even just a simple Excel sheet or a simple Word document printed out, and they can fill out their name, give you their email, all that kind of stuff gives you permission to reach out to them long after the convention is gone. And you can still reach out to those customers for future shop updates or other things like that. Don't be afraid to change up your display. So even if you're at the convention and you notice on Friday, something's not working right, or something with your display, some of your items are maybe getting lost or not easy to see, you know, try and go in the next day before everything starts again, whether that's moving things around or even restructuring your table, just depending on personally how much time and tools that you have available to you. Like for us at Rose City Comic Con, we came in the next day and we went in and we literally redid our table display because we were noticing a lot of our large prints that we had on the backdrop behind us. No one was really noticing them. Even when I was walking around, I would glance over our large prints, not really seeing them just because they're farther away from me. So we noticed that, and then the next day we go in and we changed up the display before the convention opened and we fixed it, and I think it ended up working better on Sunday for us after we did that because we had a lot more eyes looking at our table. They were able to see the large prints better because it was closer to them. So doing that sometimes can help you as well. So don't feel like you're stuck with the display. Again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just kind of little things can go a long ways. Tip number 5. Have a range of priced items at your table. So anything maybe around $3, $4, all the way up to like 30 or higher, just depending on what items you offer. But having a range of items that you can have at your table. The $3 ones are really nice, like little icebreakers for new customers maybe coming up to your table, and just kind of introducing them to you and to your product. And then when they get more interested, maybe they'll eventually go up to your $20 or $30 or $40 items as well. So having that range can kind of give your customer more of a window to kind of shop through depending on what their budget is and what they're looking for, or if they're new and not really sure. Having that range can really help. And it's also really nice too with like the different range to be able to cover costs as well. So lower items like stickers or little button pin, things like that, you know, things that are really easy to make if you make them at home or make them through a manufacturer, they're not as expensive to make. So you can get a little bit more return on those if you sell quite a bit of them. The larger items like large prints or tote bags or things like that, those are really going to help you like cover your expenses like the table or hotels or whatever. You don't have to sell as many of those items compared to if you had just stickers or smaller items and not needing to bring as much stock. Like if I need 100 stickers to pay back my table compared to like maybe 10 large prints, you know, it's definitely going to be a little bit more harder to sell 100 stickers than maybe 10 prints. Tip number 6. Don't oversaturate your table with, you know, a lot of the same items, like having one print as an art print and then a sticker and then a bookmark and then a keychain and so on and so on. It can really drown out your table, and when people look at your table and they just see that, it's like, oh, it's the same thing recycled over and over again. So there's not really a lot of variety. So I would say if you're very new and like you're just starting out with your table, you could do that for 1 or 2 items just to kind of see what would sell best. I've done that before with like my Comfy Cat stickers. I had them as a print, I had them as a sticker set. I also make them into magnets. So just depending on, I wasn't quite sure which one would sell the best. So sometimes if you're new to a new design or something like that, you're not quite sure what would sell best. I'd probably do that for like 1 or 2 designs, but definitely not everything. So now that I've kind of done a little bit more experimenting, I noticed that the sticker ones definitely sell a lot better and the magnets compared to the print. So I might pull back the print and then just keep the stickers and the magnets because those sell separate. And then go from there. So it's a really good way to use that method in the beginning to kind of do a little bit of research with the customer of what they like and what they don't like, and then pull back your products so then that way you don't have everything kind of watered down with the same design. Now the last one's kind of a bonus tip, so it's optional, you don't have to do it, but I think it's just kind of fun. So a lot of like my table nowadays is kind of like a purple, really saturated fun color. So what I personally like to do, the theming is very Disney-esque and very princess, fun, bright, fun colors. So I'll usually try and match my outfit to my table. So whether it's like bright purple pants or yellow top or, you know, just like fun, bright colors to tie in with my branding. You know, if you think about, you know, your table is your branding. You know, who you are, what your theme is, like are you cottagecore, are you fairycore, are you horror? If you can match your booth in some ways, you're kind of being cohesive all the way around with your table. You're representing yourself and your table in your outfit. You know, it's kind of like going into Target or Walmart or whatever, and you know, their theme, like Walmart is blue, a lot of their employees will wear like a blue blazer to match the branding of the overall store. So maybe for your next convention, you can play around with your outfit and have some fun with it to tie in with your table. I would love to like cosplay as like Rapunzel one day at my table, but we'll see. I know like some of those cosplay outfits get really expensive, so maybe in the future I would love to do that. We'll definitely see. Alright, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any other tips that you wanted to share, leave a comment or like down below. And thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Hi, Toso. Okay.